Now we're recording. Okay, so welcome to Aural Hygiene. It's a podcast where we look at educational films, experimental films, and weird documentaries. Someone accused me of doing radio voice. I just really did it there.
That was a Mr. Ed voice.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's amazing, Mr. Ed. Um, this is Matt. Mark Malek is with me today.
Hello.
There we go. The amazing Mr. Mark. Um,
Give me
today-
an apple, you bitch.
I'm gonna consume your soul.
Look at my gigantic horse member. Now I sound like an old man. Anyway,
Oh, I haven't seen Mr. Ed since like the early '90s, so I can't really, the
Me neither.
impression's going to be a little sketchy at best. I was
I
never,
think if. Sorry, go ahead.
I was never an avid watcher of Mr. Ed. Even at like 5 years old, I could tell that one was stupid.
I unfortunately, my parents were kind of old, so I was just given spoon-fed a lot of older TV.
No, I watched Gilligan's Island perfectly and Saved by the Bell, so those are equally stupid. But I guess it just depends on what kind of stupid is your flavor.
Yeah, Saved by the Bell was actually I was too old for that when that came out. I was like, I can't do this. That and Power Rangers were sort of like the demarcation point where I'm like, okay, this is for babies. I can't watch this.
Okay, my line was Power Rangers then.
Yeah, they're both around the same time where it was just sort of like, this isn't funny, but it's not dark. There's just nothing here.
But today has plenty here. That is 1999 AD, which I guess is the future because this movie was made in 1967.
Yes, the future in which the companies that made it barely exist.
Right. Yeah, Philco and Ford.
Philco, yes, Philco actually was completely dissolved only 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
But it was
that Phil's company, was it?
Yeah, Phil's company. It was something related to Philadelphia, and the interesting thing is that the reason that Norelco exists is because Philips was not allowed to sell products in the U.S. under the name Philips because it was too close to Philco. So they sold things as Norelco. And then eventually Philips bought Philco so they could start selling things as Philips.
Wow, that's a lot of corporate history right there.
That's what I'm here for. Corporate history minute.
Yeah.
Oh, Ford. They just did bad things.
Monsanto only changed their name about 3 years ago.
What did they change it to?
I don't remember. That's the whole point.
Very clever, Monsanto. I like how Monsanto already sounds like just a villain in a Bond movie already.
Yeah. No, one
Victor
film,
Monsanto, we meet again.
One film I'm definitely getting to is something about Monsanto's House of the Future. That was almost my choice here, but I went for this one because it's, I don't know, I guess it makes you feel less dirty to just go to the year 1999 AD with Prince.
Yeah, you got to remember that the Monsanto stuff is probably about 1 degree removed from a lot of the Epcot related Disney stuff, because I don't know what they're doing now there, but at least the first time I visited Epcot, there was definitely sort of like, let's go on a tour of our vegetable facility.
Yeah,
they're
Monsanto definitely. I mean, again, they had the House of the Future that was at Disneyland, so they were sponsoring that and a few other things. But for today's film, could you give us like the 4 or 5 sentence breakdown? Break it down.
In the year 1998, I already messed up. In the year 1999 AD, if you're an astrophysicist who's working on a new giant peach, then your house can have computers that do everything. Also, you can be anywhere you want.
Right, with these old people.
Yeah. Also, 44 is no longer old.
Which, I mean, there are accurate things in this movie, so.
Oh yeah, the weirder, it's weirder how much things they got right than wrong, I think, in this case.
Yeah.
Even though you could argue that if you throw enough darts at the wall, I mean, that's how Nostradamus became famous, because he wrote 3,000 books, and you can pull a few things that are true from them.
You can make a compilation that'll kick ass. Yeah.
Yes, he's like a greatest hits band. What's a band that's a greatest hits band? I don't know.
Queen.
New Order, like
There.
singles
Okay.
bands. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't
we
think I've
start.
ever listened to a Queen album all the way through. I'm sorry.
Well, I just said
Except
called him a
greatest
singles
hits.
band.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they're bad. It just means I just haven't done it.
Yeah. I would say most Queen albums have, again, it's a few killers and a lot of filler, right? So
Yeah. Filler Queen, the
yeah,
B-side.
right. Well, literally. Um, so we start off on the beach here with MILF Mom.
Yes, the first impression I got of this film is, oh, they're just gonna have the kids say all the things that the house
Yeah,
can
because
do and
he's
just save a bunch of money that way.
and that why doesn't dumbass kid doesn't even know what year it is? Come on.
Yeah, he's got to be like 8, right? I
Yeah,
couldn't tell how old the kid was.
I knew what year it was when I was like 4 years old. Or did
Yeah, I
I?
remember I remember not knowing what year it was. I remember knowing what year it was in 1980, and I would have been 3, I
Yeah.
think.
So this gets
So
stupid, and then
yeah.
and of course, it's just so she can write the title of the movie in the sand. But, um,
Hmm.
and then they
And so they
take
could talk
off.
about how they don't know how computers work.
Yeah. Then they talk. Take off in the Homer, that car. It was pretty much the
That was
Homer
cool.
from The
Yeah,
Simpsons.
basically. I didn't even think about that. I was mostly just they didn't show it for very long, but I was mostly like, that's a pretty cool, like kind of an orange drink colored car.
I hit the pause on it for a minute and tried to convince myself it was not the Homer, and I couldn't. So,
Yeah, who knows? They might have taken that directly from that film.
I mean, the Homer I think was green, if I remember correctly. But whatever, you can have different colors for your
Mm,
car.
maybe they
And
changed it on purpose.
then we have Michael, the astrophysicist. He gets the fuck out of Dodge for a few days every week.
Yeah, to Mexico and Puerto Rico and San Juan. I this is I'll go ahead and get straight to my major issue with this film is that they drop in all these things like, oh, I was just in Africa. I was just in, they keep talking about places they've been and no mention of how transportation works whatsoever. I just wish he dropped like, yeah, supersonic jet. Just could have said anything.
Jet setting, yeah. Maybe they probably have the hyperloop tubes going all over the place.
I just assume private jets if they're like astrophysicists. If you're an astrophysicist who's working on a new version of a peach that is larger, which isn't even in your field, then you probably have some major money.
Yeah, we are definitely seeing the one percenters in this film. That's also of note. You're
Yeah, and
not
I
really
don't
getting
think that I don't think the people writing it were even thinking about that. They're just like I think they were genuinely thinking in the future middle class people will have jobs like astrophysicist. There will
right.
just be that is genuinely what I think they had in mind.
Everyone will be an astrophysicist. There will be no factory workers.
Yeah, so of course the jobs will just scale up. People get computers get smarter, people get smarter, average person's job gets smarter.
Right. But no, these are the people that go up against the wall first, you know? So,
Yeah, of course.
and then we get a very unfortunate, um, I guess, accurate schooling situation.
Yeah. Well, hey, the screen was 4:3 aspect ratio. That was highly inaccurate.
Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah,
That's
they made school as like boring as possible. It seems. I think
yeah. I
you
noticed that
made it.
they. Sorry, go ahead.
You made a note that you were impressed. That you couldn't figure out why he was actually staying still and watching this, but
Yeah, that is. It's like, have you ever met a child? I guess in the future, children sit still. Because I don't know
and he still
drugs.
fails.
Yeah, and it said you flunk. I haven't seen the word flunk in just so many years.
And you said something about all the true false questions. I think.
Oh, they made what is obviously a computer keyboard that is only designed for true false questions. You see that it has just 2 buttons, like sets of 2 buttons. Like that's
Everything's
the only thing you
binary.
could use that for. Like someone built an entire computer just only to do true false questions in a test.
Yeah, I think that's how the Vulcan Science Academy works.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Is that what Spock's doing at the beginning of Star Trek 4?
I think so. It's been a long time since I've seen
No,
Star
he has
Trek
to.
4.
No, he has to give actual answers. So,
Hmm.
well, that's Vulcan. Of course, there are a few stages beyond this dumb kid who doesn't even know what year it is. Give him 2 buttons. He's got a 50% chance of hitting the right one.
No, he doesn't. He flunked. He failed.
Well, I said
He's too
50%
dumb.
chance. There
Yeah,
is another
okay.
50 there.
That is
Um,
true. There's that whole argument that it's like if you have a 95% chance, you can still fail.
and then in the future, it seems that people are not just looking younger, but aging backwards because now Karen is 43.
Well, didn't she say she was almost 44? Am I crazy?
Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, plot hole solved.
It says in my notes, I'm almost 44, which is true.
Okay, good. Okay, then I'm wrong. I'm wrong on that one. Anyway,
The future has proven that you're backwards. Wait, no, this is the past now.
yeah.
The future of the past
Uh,
has outwitted you.
the Illuminati probably made this film.
Yeah, probably. The
Oh,
Illuminati were at the party for sure.
yeah. what you were saying about the travel thing, I guess that was a late 60s trope because I mentioned like the Hyperloop or whatever, but then we got distracted. But
Yeah.
the book version of Logan's Run has that, where you just kind of pop in and go anywhere in the world like very quickly.
It makes total sense they would have cut that out for the extremely low budget film version.
Oh, the film version's so cool though. But
I
anyway,
love the film. Don't get me wrong.
the
I was
film's
very
better.
I was hyped when you did that as like your third episode of Sci-Fi Sanctuary.
Yeah,
But I love the film.
I just saying
But
the hyper transportation thing was I think that book was about 67 and same sort of I guess it was just a big thing at the time. Like it was a big thing
yeah,
here
you could
5 years
imagine.
ago.
Yeah, you could imagine. You could definitely imagine just transportation in that film, in the world of the film that just isn't talked about. But when I did read the synopsis of the book Logan's Run, it blew my mind. I was like, oh well, they could definitely make a remake of this because they changed the plot 100% in the
Right.
movie.
And then yeah, the music is surprisingly interesting here. The jazz swings, they got that Cuban thing at the end.
Oh, that was the best thing in the whole film.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was just, I was like, oh man, I wish this was coming on. I guess I was watching on YouTube, so it did come true.
There we go. So and it's more convenient for you. They had to get a party together for that, probably rent it or something. It is
Like
99 though. Because
I'm
yeah,
more
this
powerful than them because I watched them watching it on YouTube. I used YouTube to watch them watch the film, so I'm therefore much more powerful than all those astrophysicists.
because I was like, yeah, because the wife is using the shit version of Amazon, but well, 1999 Amazon was not this shit, but obviously
Yeah.
not fully functional. She buys an ultrasonic vibrator for her disposable panties.
I loved the closet where like all the clothes were just dancing around because like ultrasonic waves were cleaning them. It just looked
Yeah,
like a ghost closet.
yeah, that was cool. And then the Michael gets the printout. I'm like, well, that's stupid. But I'm like, oh, well,
Yeah.
now we have the apps. But in 1999, you would still print out your receipt
I
or whatever.
suppose. I think I was pretty sick of printers by then, but uh to come to
Right.
think of it, I do believe the job that I worked at, I would just print like a 50-page like expense report at the end of every week. So I guess we did keep paper. So yeah, it makes that tracks. The funny thing about all the tech in this movie is that anything that did exist, my brain was just I was sort of like, wait, when was that invented? I was having just a hard time putting together what the timeline was. It was like I was just sort of lost in this ether of just letting things that kind of did exist flow over me.
Yeah.
I don't
Just
know
this
if you had
is
experience like that. Like none of that stuff feels like suddenly, like I don't remember when like the Fitbit, I guess the chair was just like a giant Fitbit. And I was like, when did Fitbit start? I don't know. I don't
right,
know.
because the tone of the movie is still very futuristic. But then you have to be like, well, actually, they're showing us the future, but it's still like 20 years in the past. So we should be pretty
Yeah.
far past this movie.
And most of the tech in the movie sort of came into being between then and now. but but all I can think about is 9/11. It's
Yeah.
just, I can't think about. I didn't really care that much about how what my smartphone was doing because I was just like, oh, 9/11.
There we
That's all I
go.
can think about for the last 20 years.
Well, yeah, there is the whole smart home technocracy crap here. Computers telling you what you can and can't eat, you know.
Yeah, well, that's what your Fitbit is supposed to do, I think.
Oh,
But it won't. But it won't. It won't like inventory. This is the big disbelief thing, is computers inventorying all your clothes and all your food. Like to
oh,
build a system, you can build a system that will mechanically take all your food and put it places and scan it, but that is just so much work. I don't know if even the richest people on earth would do that.
and
Like
then
just have servants do it.
we have all health statistics sent like directly to the CDC, who will then send out a car if they deem it necessary.
Yeah, that would never happen. People would just like hack the computer to be like, don't send this. I'm too fat now. Don't send this data.
Oh, you know, and then we got the computer torturing Michael with its exercise requirements, and if he doesn't follow them, I'm sure his social crediting score will be decreased.
Yeah. That's still sort of forward thinking. I don't think people in the 60s were really thinking about how much exercise they were getting
Well, they
that
weren't a bunch of
much.
lard asses.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
um, and then yeah, there's the Paul Simon golfing guy, like in a straight up 1979 Star Trek uniform. That was cool.
Yeah, I was like, go golfing with that guy. Go to show me where you're going. And it's like, there's no golf in this film, unfortunately.
Oh, one when it has Jamie playing giant chess using a physical chessboard with a computer. That seems weird, but whatever.
Interestingly, something like that was Kickstarted a couple of years ago. I don't know if it got successfully funded, but it not only is it a thing where you can play chess, but like the pieces move like it is magnets.
Ah, but yeah, he's
Not
playing
worth
what
my money, but
he's he's playing like Atari 800 XL chess in 1999. So I thought that was pretty funny.
yeah, against his dad's previous score or something like that, which I don't know how that works because
Yeah.
that's not how playing games works. You can't play. You could race against a Mario Kart like Ghost Car, but you can't like play Ghost Chess because they
Well,
wouldn't do the same thing.
yeah, but this kid's really stupid, as we've already.
Maybe he just doesn't know.
Yeah. He's
He
totally
thinks the
forgotten about that game.
computer is daddy. Computer is dad.
Yeah. Basic. That's what he says at the beginning. That's where the computer lives, right? A little creepy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, even though I'm pretty sure that their house has at least like 35 computers.
yeah. But no, I'm just calling these people, jet setting one percenters because, probably everyone else is living in like the Hunger Games or something.
Well, yeah, even just the fact that they have, I don't know, conservatively 20 flat screens in their house.
Right.
Like,
But
why not just have one screen? It's kind of that is kind of ridiculous, no matter how you slice it.
but yeah, that brings us to our YouTube viewing, which would have been, in 1999, that would have been pretty impressive. It still took like what 3 hours to download the Phantom Menace trailer at that point in time.
Yeah, YouTube didn't exist in 1999.
Correct. So actually,
It started, I believe, 2004, 2005.
so it was impressive in 1999.
Yeah, you would be watching a little QuickTime thing embedded in a website probably, and it would not be full screen. You wouldn't be watching full screen video on the internet. So
Right, because they're getting it in like 1080p or whatever, right? So
yeah, well, I mean, it looked like film grain quality. They're probably getting like 4K there
why was that guy
because
singing
it's film.
pitch?
Ah!
Yeah, that I don't know. At 1 a.m, that was kind of tripping me out.
It felt like he took it to the absolute edge of absurdity and then just took it one more step. It's like I can't do the note.
Did you ever see?
I will.
Did you see the "Look Around You" music episode
Yes, a
with the
while ago.
Macadamia?
What is that? Is that the one with Synthesizer Patel on it?
Yeah.
Synthesizer Patel.
Right.
Synthesizer Patel. Yeah.
But it's got the Macadamia guy, which I won't try and sing his song because last time I did these recordings, my wife was like, "You're being too loud," and if I do that, I'll definitely be way too loud. Oh, right.
I'm afraid to hit the note the guy hits but it is
Like your balls will rupture if you do it.
yeah, it's like he takes it to the edge and then punches his balls with his voice. It's amazing. It's 10 out of 10. Best performance of the entire film.
Yeah. I just got to give a shout out that Wink Martindale is like the third most awesome name ever.
That is awesome. I didn't realize it was him until I read all the YouTube comments.
Yeah. So it's like, that's great. If I'm changing my name, he's probably dead. I can take that one.
Yeah, you could be Blink Martindale. I don't know. Blink.
No. It's the combination that really works there, I think. So, but yeah, again, it's temporal. This movie's a temporal mess now in the year 2021, of course. So,
Yeah, but it is impressive how much they got pretty much right. I just it seems a little tone deaf that they were just like, well, the home of the future will be this, when it's like this is probably not going to be everyone's home. I guess
yeah,
that seems to be the thing they got least right, aside
the
from the travel thing and the idea that your computers will be like inventorying your food.
right. Although I don't think every home got like an awesome dedicated synthesizer console. That
Yeah,
didn't
that
happen.
was yeah, that is sort of accurate. I don't know where synthesizer technology was in the 60s. I don't think they had Casios yet.
Yeah.
Is
What's
that right?
accurate in your
'Cause-
house or my house, but yeah.
well, there was sort of a Casio thing where you could have one like terrible fake instrument on one side and one fake instrument on the other. It's just they weren't really playing.
You could have gotten a brand new Mellotron in 1967.
Where did they have Optigons yet?
That might have been pre Mellotron. I'm not sure.
I think Mellotrons are older than Optigons.
Oh, okay.
Because Optigan was like Trans Europe Express, but that doesn't mean the Optigan didn't come out before that. I just don't know my history on that.
Yeah, I don't have that straight in my head, but yeah, it is amazing how many things did come out on the somewhat accurate end. I mean, everything's white and wood paneled and shiny wood. I guess some of it's plastic. There's yeah.
Well, like most retro futurist stuff, I found myself just kind of longing for that kind of architecture. It's just I wish that I could.
Oh, what I was getting to, the flip side of this coin, and maybe I pair them up because I think I actually got them on a DVD where they were together. But a few years after this, you get the much darker future shock based on the book. With it seems Orson Welles is
Was Orson
narrating.
Welles, right?
Yeah, where
Okay.
he did. They seemingly paid him with a bottle of scotch that he was drinking between takes. So
Yeah, they gave him Paul Masson. Oh, Paul Masson, the future. Yeah, no, I watched that with you in
yeah.
your apartment
Oh,
years
right.
ago.
Right.
It was great.
Right. Yeah. So that's the flip side of this one, I guess, for the less shiny version of your future.
Yeah, that
You
felt
just
like
talking about everyone will
it's-
be left behind, depressed in the future.
it feels it's been a while since I've watched it, obviously, but that did feel like a little more educational.
My
Whereas
wife just
this is-
left me. There's an empty hole in my soul.
They're gonna get me to play a transformer, whatever that is.
So yeah, but yeah, it's like the flip coin of this nice happy 1999 AD. No Prince song, unfortunately, but yeah, they were a little early for that, I guess.
I don't know how you would predict Prince even. I don't know how you predict Prince even like 1975.
Yeah.
They just Prince is just not predictable. He wasn't even predictable to people who he played with in bands.
Right. But I guess that wraps it up here. So are we still talking about puppets this week for you?
Oh, sure. Check out my work on the Dead Register video Don't Fail Me on the internet. You can find it wherever fine internets are sold. Also, Bandcamp, stunrunner.bandcamp.com. Look for music there. Maybe there is some.
Is there?
I don't know. Not yet.
Okay.
It's been a rough year, people. 2 years.
As for this podcast, it is Aural Hygiene Pod. We're on Twitter and Facebook. We might be somewhere else, but I'm probably not paying attention there.
Hmm.
Um, My other podcast is Matt and Luke's Sci-Fi Sanctuary, which can be found at MLSFS Pod on Twitter, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, blah, 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 and so on. I got the letters out for once. That was impressive.
Yeah, you
I'm
do it enough
learning.
times, you're gonna figure it out.
I'm learning, unlike that stupid
MSFSS.
boy.
Wait, MSFSS. MSFS.
I don't know what you're saying.
MSFS.
You
MLSFS.
fail. You flunk.
You flunk.